Hey, did you grab your ticket to the Ordinary Summit yet? It starts October 14th. Go to theordinarybusiness.com to grab yours. This is the Ordinary Business Podcast for business owners who want honest conversations, a lean business, and an extraordinary life on their own terms. Jillian, what is your favorite way to treat a low blood sugar?
Well, I feel like as a mom, I always have fruit snacks on hand. And so that's usually my go-to. But my favorite thing is a Reese's cup.
Okay, now that is interesting because Reese's don't really raise my blood sugar fast enough.
Really?
Yes, I do love Reese's for a pre-workout snack though.
Oh, we don't ever have Reese's cups, honestly, because of me, because I would just eat them constantly.
Same.
Completely rebound and my blood sugar would go high after that. But it's just, when you have a low blood sugar, it's like, okay, this is my moment. What kind of garbage can I eat? It's like I was made for this moment.
Yes. Okay, so I have had phases in my life where I'm like, this is the treatment for the low blood sugar.
Yeah.
Right now, I am in a Skittles phase. Do you have phases, or are you sporadic, or have you always done fruit snacks?
No, I've gone through phases also. Is this a thing?
I don't. Now I'm very curious.
Me too. What's interesting though, it used to be apple juice. And now it's fruit snacks. And
Yeah.
There's got to be some kind of science behind that. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay, I might have to Google
or maybe
this later.
we burn ourselves out on something, and so we pivot and choose something else.
Yeah, that is for me. That is part of it. Okay, so obviously we have lots to chat about. We are talking today about what it's like to juggle business and be a type 1 diabetic. But before we get into the rest of all of that kind of fun stuff, can you tell us a little bit more about what you do?
Yeah, so I'm a business consultant. I focus in on operations and team. And ultimately, what we provide is an operational reset for people women specifically, who are doing everything themselves in their business. And maybe they have an assistant, maybe they have a full team, and they're still everything falls on their shoulders. And so we just do a holistic reset and realign everything with their values, their leadership, their team, their systems. And yeah, so that's how we serve women in business.
Nice. Very nice. I like that. Okay. So first, when were you diagnosed?
I was 11. It was right after I had made a whole batch of cupcakes, and I had lost some weight and was peeing frequently. Weird.
As we do. Yep.
As you do. And just feeling very sluggish and sick. And I had made cupcakes the night before, and it was the night before the first day of school after Christmas break. And just woke up the next morning and just didn't feel well. My mom took me to the doctor, and my blood sugar was 364, which is actually not
pretty
that
tame.
bad.
Yeah, that's pretty tame for a
it's
diagnosis.
Bad, but it's not that bad. In the grand scheme of things. And that kind of spurred on all the things, right? Going to the hospital, getting admitted, going through all the training, getting set up with a doctor, all of those things.
So I was 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there was no cupcakes, but I had gotten a UTI, and then very quickly after got chicken pox, and then I started getting sick again. And so they thought it was another UTI, and it was type 1 diabetes. And so my personal theory is just all the sickness kind of attacked my system, because we know now that there are a lot of viruses that kind of trigger it or do something to your system. And so I think that's just which is crazy to think that. I know there's a lot of factors that go into it, but it's crazy to think if I just hadn't gotten a UTI, would I still have diabetes? Or was I already becoming, at that point, was I already kind of diabetic and that's why I got a UTI? It's just weird to think about.
I know, you think about all the moments that led you to that point, And I also had a lot of like viruses and just like weird high fevers as a kid. I also have a bone disease, which I don't think that they're related, but it that was happening when I was like 4 and 5, and that was like the peak of that, and then diabetes happened at 11, and then between those, it's like I had gotten sick so often. And so it is really interesting to think about all the roads that led to the diagnosis and where your body was at that point when it kind of
Mhm.
stopped doing what it was supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. What is something about managing diabetes day to day that obviously people without it probably don't think about and really impacts how you work or run your business?
Yeah, it impacts how I feel the most, like my energy levels. As women, like obviously we have a cycle as well, and so there's that element of it. And to go deeper into that thought, for 2 weeks in my cycle, like my blood sugars are wild. And
Mhm.
it's like, who is this person? What's going on with me? It surprises me every month and I don't know why. And I have like a special profile in my pump that I have to like shift over to
Mhm.
because it like my body needs more insulin. So there's that piece. It's like managing and knowing when I need to switch over to the other profile. It's not it and it's troubleshooting it, right? When you troubleshoot a high blood sugar, it's like, okay, is there a disconnection in my pump? Am I getting sick? Is there some type of infection in my body that I don't know about? Is it because I'm stressed? Is it because I'm hormonal?
Is it because I had too much caffeine today? Because
It,
that's like that affects me.
yes.
Not to mention food. If we go for a walk, like I have a walking pad and I have to walk very slow. Otherwise, my blood sugar just bottoms out after 10 minutes.
Yes, every single activity, whether it be like getting my kids ready for school or doing my Bible study or going for a walk, popping on a call, running an errand, like I literally have to think. As women, we already think 10 steps ahead, but like
Mhm.
I literally have to think, okay, not only those 10 steps ahead, do I have something in my purse if I drop low? Do I have enough if I start eating it and my 5-year-old's like screaming because she wants gummy bears too? Like all because it's like in those moments where you're like, I just need to take care of myself and why is this so hard?
Mhm.
Like it just feels overwhelming. You feel sick whenever it happens, low
Oh,
or
yeah.
high. And I can pretty much diagnose my blood sugar too based off of how I feel. And so like if I'm on a meeting, if I'm on a call and I start to feel a certain way, I'm like, oh no, here it comes. And then I'm distracted. And then it's like, okay, well, I've got to stay focused on this person. They have paid for my time. And like I want to be invested mentally, but yet if I fall over and pass out, like that's a problem.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
it's this weird balance of like, okay, when is the right moment to tell them, hey, I need to step away and take care of this? Or do I just like push through? That is like the constant battle in my mind
Mhm.
all day, every day, and in every situation, not just work.
Right. And also, like, are they going to think less of me because I start eating Skittles in the middle of our call?
Yeah.
Like, not less than, not like, "Oh,
Yeah.
how dare you eat Skittles," but are they gonna think it's weird,
Right.
unprofessional, you know? And luckily, I'm at the point where I would just tell them, like, I know some people are very shy and don't like to, like, talk about what's going on. I would just be like, "I'm having a low blood sugar, like, sorry, I gotta eat some Skittles."
Yeah.
But it's also, like you said, the mental load of everything. Because even before we got on this, I was like, "Oh, I need to make sure my blood sugar's okay before I hop on. If I need to like run down and get some Skittles." And then after we are done recording, I have another call right after this. And so I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna have to do back to back. That also goes into lunch hour. So
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna start getting hungry. My blood sugar might drop. Like, because sometimes it's totally fine and sometimes it's not. And it's just like all those extra decisions that we just have to think about even before something as simple as getting on a call.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, oh, I'm gonna go to this event, or I have to go, like other industries, it's like, oh, I have to go organize an event or run a conference or do this like hands-on work and go on site with clients. And we're just standing in our offices being like, I hope I don't fall over during this client call.
Right. And, it has, it's never affected me in terms of like, I've never said no to something
Right.
because diabetes is all consuming, but it does make me think twice a little bit sometimes on, okay, well, how would I approach this situation? Or you're right, the mental load of navigating all of these possible outcomes, positive or negative, is exhausting, and it can feel I don't ever feel sorry for myself. And it's
No,
like
me either.
it's just it's who I am, it's how I
Uh-huh.
live. And it's difficult in certain situations where I went to a luncheon here locally, and it was a nonprofit type luncheon. And, I was like, I mean, I'm wearing stretchy pants right now. They're cute stretchy pants, but they're
Mm-hmm.
stretchy pants. But I like got dressed up for this luncheon, and I'm like on my way there and I'm thinking, okay, like my blood sugar was like 98 as I was walking in, and I'm like, we're not eating for another 30 minutes. And I'm like, what is this 98 going to do? Is this 98 going to behave, or is this 98 just going to tank it? Like,
Mm-hmm.
could my walk from my car to the luncheon table make my blood sugar tank? Like, that's literally.
Oh, it would make me drop 100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's like, what if I have to pull out a granola bar, like at this fancy luncheon, like who's
Mm-hmm.
this chick? I don't know. You think about all of those things and just hope and pray that nothing happens and you just
Yes.
be normal today.
Yes. And you're like, could I just have like an hour of normalcy where nothing
Mhm.
is beeping and I don't have to
Oh.
like do something, it's like, can we just have like an hour, please? Like around these people. Have you ever had like a really bad diabetes day where you have to like pivot your work day?
10,000% yes. Like, I so many times.
Yeah.
So many times. And the struggle, like yesterday, I didn't have any calls on the calendar, but like I woke up and my blood sugar was 40. Because I hadn't switched over to my other profile and I was still on like the top profile, and it was just like, okay, what is happening? Like, why is my blood sugar so low? And then it like went up to 250 and then went back down to 40, and I'm like, what is happening? And that when that happens in such a short amount of time, it's like you're exhausted.
Uh-huh.
And so, like, my husband got home yesterday and I was like, I am on the verge of a meltdown because I, like, actually did things today and I felt like crap.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyway, it's just, there have been several moments where I have had to, like, cancel the whole day, or because I have to pick my kids up from school. So I need to, like, nurse my actual body and make
Mm-hmm.
sure that I can function and do the things that I need to do, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And for anyone listening who, I was going to clarify this earlier and I forgot. For anyone who's like, what are you talking about different profiles? It's similar to like on the iPhone where there's like do not disturb and focus mode and sleep mode. It's kind of like that. Like you have different modes. And so both of us, when we are on our cycle, the hormones make our blood sugars go crazy. So like I cannot eat enough Skittles. I mean, there are times that I just don't even take insulin for a meal because I'm like,
Mhm,
it's not, there's no point. But it
mhm.
used to be that my blood sugars were sky high. It's now that my body, for whatever reason, it's probably because of my age or like, who knows?
Yeah, I wonder if it's age, because I do feel like too, obviously, like after you have kids, your cycles are different anyway.
Right.
So there's
Yeah.
got to be something to that on the actual blood sugar side. But yeah, I'm 100% right there with you.
It's just, yeah. So we have to switch to these different modes. And sometimes the like sensitivity to the insulin will kick in like 2 days before the cycle, sometimes like day of.
The way that I have explained it to people is it's almost like you're trying to figure out a mathematical equation
Uh-huh.
and the equation keeps changing
As you're trying to solve it.
as you're trying to solve it. And like you get a glimpse of like, oh, I think I've got it. And then everything changes.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
wild.
Because what worked yesterday or even this morning might not work this afternoon or tomorrow. And that sounds like an exaggeration, but it is not. This is a weird question I like to ask fellow diabetics. Does the weather affect you?
I don't know that I've ever thought about that. Now I'm going to pay attention to it.
So it's not so granular that, oh, it's 80 today and 70 tomorrow and like my system freaks out. But like when the seasons really shift, it like makes my blood sugars go haywire. My mom noticed this from an early age. It is, and doctors think I'm weird. They're like, no, it doesn't. It's something when the seasons change.
What do you mean by crazy? Will they go low or high?
Typically, in the fall when it's getting colder. Well, actually, I feel like most times now, because it used to be for sure when it was getting hot, when it would shift into summer, I would go low a lot. And I feel like it used to be in the fall, I would go high, but now I think it goes low both times. But it's just very sporadic, very stubborn. Does not like it feels like I'm on my cycle or something. Like it's very weird.
I've never considered that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to pay attention to that now.
You report back.
Yeah, I'll report back.
Okay, so I wanted to also talk about like events and conferences because sometimes as business owners we go like networking or to big conferences. Just I want to hear like all the things. Like what are you packing? Do you like going alone? Do you feel comfortable going alone? Do you tell people there that you're diabetic? Or are you just like, I'm just hoping nothing happens?
So I love to go alone. I am just more centered. I'm less focused on other people and their happiness or accommodations or whatever. And I'm able to just take care of myself and just take care of myself. Like what a luxury to just have to take care of me. And for some reason that just like fills me with more confidence that I can like make the decisions I need to make and just do what I need to do. As far as like what I pack, here's my routine. I will go to the grocery store, just get like Chomps bars for the protein and granola bars and just like candy garbage. And literally, I do not hold back because I want to be the most prepared person in the room, right? I don't ever pack like anything healthy. And I always have the biggest bag because, and what's interesting is this is the type, I feel like I'm like a split type A, type B. My type B side is like, I'll have my diabetic supplies. If for some reason something gets pulled out or something happens, I'll have them close by, but I'm not going to have them with me. And so, like, if worst case scenario comes, like, I can leave and go take care of it, whatever. But, like, I'm saving that room in my bag for my snacks. Like, that's the most
Same.
important thing to me.
Yes, I'm the same way. I will say it depends also, like, how far is my hotel from the conference center,
Yeah. Even then, though, I'm a little bit risky.
You're like,
my husband's always like, why don't you keep these things in the car? And I'm like, well, I don't know because I have snacks in the car.
Yes, that's the priority. When I go to a conference or an event, before I leave, I go to the store and I get a bag of Skittles. Like, I always take like the snack size, like what we pass out at Halloween. And I just grab that, put that in the suitcase, and then I get a box of Cliff Bars. Because if dinner's going to be really late, I need something that's going to like keep me not quite as hungry. But the funny thing is, I do this every time. And I'll be like, okay, so I have 6 bars. I'm gone for 6 days. I have a bar a day. I'm good. And then I come home and I have 5 bars in my suitcase.
Yes.
And I'm like, well at least I was prepared.
Yes. Like, it's literally, it's not because you think you're going to need them all, but
Right.
it's like, just in case.
Just in case
you're never fed the whole trip.
And do you tell anyone there if you're going alone? Do you like tell anybody?
No, I don't really tell people. I mean, if there is something going on with me, medically, I've really never been in that situation. But if I was, I would find someone, find the adult in the room
Mhm.
and or who looks like they're in charge and tell them
Yeah.
that, I'm a type 1 diabetic. I'm not feeling well. Just, I'm probably fine, but I just need to tell somebody.
Yeah. So if I'm going to a conference, I typically do not go by myself. When I've gone to smaller retreats where
Hmm.
there's like 10 of us
Mhm.
or something, I will like message the host or something and be like, I just want someone to know I'm diabetic. I don't need anything. I just, if I pass out, I don't want y'all to be like, oh, it's just the heat or like maybe she's dehydrated. Like, I need you to know that I'm diabetic. But I realize that they're going to see me like getting out my insulin pump and all the meals. And they're thankfully, in my experience, insulin pumps are so common now that whenever I pull it out, most of the time people are like, is that an insulin pump?
Mhm.
My so and so has one. Or,
Mhm.
I remember when I first, it was one of the first weeks in high school that I was back after getting my insulin pump, and one of my classmates was like, teacher, why does she get to have an MP3 player? And I don't, and we don't. And I was
Oh
like,
my goodness.
not an MP3 player. Now, I am very curious if you've ever experienced like diabetes burnout. How do you either handle or even avoid burnout? Because it's a lot, we know, with diabetes, and owning our own business is also a lot.
Mhm.
And so, how do you juggle both and kind of help yourself avoid burnout?
Well, first I want to paint this picture and see if you relate. Like when you know, have kids and you have children or a child. And so when you have kids, you're like, okay, you're taking on a new layer of complexity, right? Of
Mm-hmm.
schedule and your days and all that in your life. And when you have a business, same, you're making the choice and you're adding a layer of complexity. And diabetes is another layer of complexity where it's like, how am I going to make all of these layers of complexity and puzzle pieces fit? Um, and be like, not normal's not the right word, but how is it sustainable to do
Mm-hmm.
them all, right? In terms of burnout, I have absolutely felt it. And it usually comes in the form of just a lot of tears and exhaustion and just you know, giving up isn't the right term, but giving up in terms of figuring out what the problem is. I've
Mm-hmm.
done everything I can do. Lord, just help me. I don't know what else is needed here. Um, as far as managing it, I just don't think, there's a lot of things that you can control in your life. There's a lot of in terms of your business specifically, there's a lot that we can't control, but there is things that we can. Um, and typically my business ends up being reactive to what my diabetes is doing. And that can be really frustrating. But in managing the burnout, it's almost like I compare it to burnout in business where, we've made decisions that have kind of led us to that point. Whereas in
Mm-hmm.
diabetes, it's not like that. It's like this burnout has been put on you because it's just so hard. It's so taxing. Whereas business, it is hard. It is mentally taxing, but it's also a product of the decisions that we make and the values that we hold. And so it gets really frustrating when you've experienced diabetes burnout because there's nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can change your attitude. Who wants that? You can
Right.
change that there, but it's like, ew.
Yeah.
I'm just mad. There are days where I'm like, I just don't understand why this has to exist.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when I am full conspiracy theorist on this specific topic that definitely have a cure.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a cure out there, but there is so much money in diabetes management that it's like, why would they even put it out there?
Mm-hmm.
What's
Yeah.
the point? It makes their world go round,
Yeah.
you
They make
know?
a lot of money
A
off of
lot
us.
of money. And we're so fortunate. Our family is so fortunate to have excellent medical insurance.
Same. Yeah.
That is wow. When you talk to someone who doesn't have medical insurance or doesn't have great medical insurance, they could have medical insurance that's good for everything else but diabetes. I mean, the amount of money that they have to spend every month on supplies or insulin or whatever just to be baseline and not including all of the extra things that make our lives so much easier and make our journey in diabetes so much easier. It's just really hard to fathom and imagine.
Yeah. I've always, like, I grew up with really good insurance, and luckily my husband's employer has really good insurance. And I have often thought about, like, if it weren't for him having that job, would I still be able to work for myself full time? Or would I need to go somewhere? I know I can get my own insurance through the marketplace, but from what I've heard, it's not great.
Right.
um, and especially in coverage and cost. And so I have often thought about, like, would I be able to still run my business full time? Like, would we be able to afford my supplies? Or would I need to go get a job where that has good insurance that can help pay for things? Because I get like a 30-day supply of insulin for, I think I'm at $100. So like my Dexcom and stuff like that, like it's all covered and I just do copays. And I know so many diabetics who pay thousands in supplies.
Mhm.
And so, yes, I'm very, very blessed to have good insurance. But I'm also like, one of these days, like something might happen and I have to go get a job so that I have good insurance.
Yeah, we have had many conversations and even said like we're a slave to the insurance.
Hmm.
And I have made personal work moves based off of insurance. Like my husband's employer, um, I guess it was several years ago now, maybe 10, 12 years ago, where I left my corporate job and who did have medical insurance, and I was actually double insured because I had medical insurance through them, and I was able to be on my husband's after my parents dropped me. And so I was double insured, but then his employer, they reset everything and said, if your spouse's employer offers insurance, then they are not going to be covered from ours. But his is way better than mine was. So, we had to make some decisions. And I was already kind of changing things in terms of like what I was going to start doing. And I had decided to start my own business and do all these things. And so, all of that kind of came together for us, and the timing worked out to where I was not going to have that insurance from my employer any further, and then I was going to be able to just use his. But we've had to be strategic about it.
Yeah, insurance stuff is just not fun to think about. So I'm glad we both have it right now, at least, and
Same.
continue to have it. But it's definitely something we always have to think about as business owners. So, well, this has been super fun. I always am a nerd and love to talk about, all the diabetes things. But where can we connect with you and learn more about your business and all that kind of fun stuff?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Jillian Dahlberry. My website is jilliandahlberry.com. And yeah, I love to connect with people, love to talk to you in the DM. So if anyone has a question about anything or just wants to chat further about anything that we talked about, it's always open.
Awesome. I will put that in the show notes. But thank you again for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.